everyone, my name's Caitlin. I'm a holistic nutrition consultant and the author of a blog called grassfedgirl.com. I've been healing my Hashimoto's for over 10 years with an ancestral diet and more recently a carnivore diet for over 5 years. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Please share, subscribe, like this video if it is of value to you. Thank you so much. So today's topic is 5 foods that you could introduce if you are feeling like you need some variety on a carnivore diet. So these are low toxin plants that will not upset your stomach, most likely, and are really, really easy to digest and have low toxins. A lot of plants have anti-nutrients which affect the absorption of vitamins and minerals and can block them, so you are not getting the full spectrum from your food. Some of these are lectins and phytates, also oxalates in spinach, for example. Lectins are in grains and beans. There is so many anti-nutrients in plants because plants have to have a defense mechanism because they don't have claws or teeth or fangs like other animals. So they want to make you sick and that is their defense mechanism. So some people are much more sensitive than others. I think if you have autoimmune disease like I do, I'm much more sensitive to plants maybe than somebody who is perfectly healthy, for example. And I felt much, much better since I cut out most plants and all plants for many years. But I have found that these 5 foods have some benefit just for my mental health, mostly, of having a little bit of variety sometimes. And, you know, just being able to maybe have a crunch or something like that. Because if you want to be carnivore for a long time, sometimes it can be a little boring and you don't want to have your symptoms come back, such as bloating or gas. And these kinds of foods that I'm going to name in a minute are the ones I've experimented and found the best results with. I don't eat them every day, but every once in a while, if I want them, I'm not going to stress out about it. So the first one is cucumbers. Cucumbers are actually a fruit, and all of these that I'm going to name are fruits. Cucumbers are so yummy. I love a summer cucumber. I think it's really important to eat seasonally, what you would have had maybe wherever your ancestors are from. So cucumbers are something that in the Northern Hemisphere we have in the summer. And I grew up with my grandmother getting them from her garden, so it's very reminiscent of that for me. And I love them in vinegar, very cold. So I've had a few of those this summer, and it's just been kind of a nice break and variety in my carnivore diet. The next one is olives. Olives are a traditional food. My husband is from the Mediterranean region, so he's really into olives and olive oil. I like olives. I love saltiness of them, and sometimes I will use olive oil if I'm cooking something that we both eat, and then I will eat an olive here and there, especially if I'm at a restaurant and you're just kind of waiting for your food. I don't find any negative digestive issues when I eat olives. Again, they are a fruit. They have a pit. And they're just super yummy, and I don't see anything wrong with eating an olive here and there. It's not a binge food for me. Also, these are all low carb foods that I'm mentioning. Definitely sticking with low carb. I don't believe in, for myself especially, I cannot handle adding fruits, real fruits that have a lot of carbs in them. I seem fine with a couple of these foods I'm mentioning because they don't spike my blood sugar and they don't have a lot of sugar in them. The next one is coconut. Coconut has so many uses. It is also a fruit. It is just a wonderful, I love curry. I went to Thailand and it's really hard for me to say no to a good curry sometimes. Put some meat in there and just those spices, I just cannot say no. So I love a good curry. And I found that if I just eat the meat and the coconut milk, I'm okay. So coconut has so many uses. You can put it in your coffee. It is just a wonderful food. It doesn't have a lot of anti-nutrients because it's a fruit, and you know, it spreads its seeds or it multiplies by animals eating it and spreading it around. So definitely coconut is one to try if you are wanting to introduce a little bit of plants into your diet, low toxin plants. So coconut milk, the meat, any way a coconut comes out, it is really, really good, and it is low toxin. Stay tuned for number 5. It is the very best one and everybody's favorite. So number 4 is zucchini. Zucchini squash. Also ate that a lot with my grandparents when I was growing up. They had a farm, and I love a good summer zucchini. Put some butter with it and just, saute it with some bone broth. So those also, a fruit, a low toxin fruit, low carb, a great thing. Just if you're feeling like you want a little bit of variety, you can grill them. That's also very yummy with some olive oil on it or butter, whatever you like. Zucchini is just a great one. Zucchini squash, yellow squash, I think is pretty similar. So that is a really good one in the summertime. Seasonally, again, follow what's local to your area or where your ancestors would have been from. Okay, last one is avocado. I'm so excited. Last but not least, avocado, everybody's favorite. I love a skirt steak, a flank steak. I love that kind of fajita meat, and I just love me some guacamole. So I ate a lot of guacamole when I was pregnant. I have a 3-year-old, so I was pregnant 3 years ago, and it was summer, and that was one thing I just love, with some lemon. That's probably one more. That's a bonus, lemon. We'll talk about that in a minute. But love some guacamole. That is just so good. Or just avocado plain. You could just mash it up, put some salt on it. It's just the best thing ever. And I don't really have any digestive problems when I eat avocado. Some of these you might not want to eat too late. I had a lot of problems with heartburn when I was eating plants, so maybe eat them earlier in the day. That might help your digestion. Chew really well. But I don't think most people are going to have a problem with a little bit of avocado. And if it helps you stick with the carnivore diet longer, then I'm all for it. I love to go to a Mexican restaurant. I'm very dairy sensitive, so for me to eat the sour cream and the cheese just doesn't work because a million reasons. Because I have autoimmune disease, the dairy just doesn't work for me. I have a lot of other videos about that, but I can eat an avocado and get that Mexican kind of Latin taste and flavor with my meat, and it's just really, really makes the carnivore diet more sustainable for me to have an avocado here and there. So don't give yourself a lot of guilt. Just eat a low toxin fruit that's low carb, and that will really help you out on this journey. Okay, number 6 bonus is lemons or limes. Also very low carb. They can add a lot of flavor to your fish or seafood, shrimp, for example. I'm not against sauces and some condiments on carnivore, as long as you have tested it out and you know that you're not sensitive to, say, nightshades or something like that. I love mustard, for example. I just can't eat like a hot dog without mustard, or certain meat, hamburger. I love mustard with a hamburger. So certain things are okay with me, and I've been doing this so long that having a tiny bit of variety helps me stick with it over the long haul. So lemons and limes, very low carb. They can add a lot of flavor to your meat. They can break down tough meats if you marinate them. So that's a really good way to make your meat more tender, especially if you buy like a cheaper cut. So that is a great way to use lemons or limes. If you make like an electrolyte drink, you could put your salt and your lemon, and that would maybe make you stick with the carnivore diet longer. Then I'm all for it. Let me know what you think about adding some low carb, low toxin fruit to your carnivore diet. Which one of the ones I named would you eat? And do you think this is just the worst thing ever? Would you say you would never want to add any of this stuff to your diet? Or do you think it's a good way to make your diet more sustainable, your carnivore diet? So let me know down below in the comments. Please leave a thumbs up. I really appreciate you watching. Get my carnivore ebook. It's all about how to do the carnivore diet in a sustainable way over the long term. And lose weight, feel your best, meal plans, shopping lists, all that stuff. And thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.